Good afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and welcome to NerdTube. And it's time to talk about Quantum Leap, Season 1, Episode 13, Family Style. Just here on my own today, usually I do have a co host. Unfortunately, they weren't available. So I'm going to soldier along and basically give you my thoughts and opinions on this episode, as well as break down some of the scenes that happened during the course of this episode. First of all, I have to say how much I thoroughly enjoyed this episode simply because it was representing me. As somebody of Indian descent, seeing an episode about Indian people running an Indian restaurant without any bias, by the way, Indian food is the best. And just having elements to it that reminds me of my Indian culture was absolutely fantastic. It was once again a lovely episode. The heart of Quantum Leap is still there with the compassion showed by Ben Song when it comes to wanting to help these people and the love that he felt towards the mother he who became his surrogate mother during the course of this episode that reminded him of his real mother. Absolute beauty personified during the course of this show, and I loved it. Now we do obviously, and I'll get this out of the way initially, come across some of the elements of the present day storyline. Now, if you remember last week, the person Magic was interviewing drew a picture of somebody that they were dreaming of, I believe. This person might have like done some sort of Men in Black memory wipe on on the person Magic was interviewing, but they still remember this person in their dreams. And when they drew the picture of this person in their dreams, the person looked like Ian. So Magic obviously confronts Ian about this, and then when Ian, sorry, apologize, sorry, Ian, when Ian looks into the pictures with more detail, Ian realizes that this person, which is obviously Ian, looks a little bit older. So Ian believes that Ian's future self has gone back in time, but Ian can't fathom why. Why would Ian leap in the future? Now, Magic wants Ian to basically clear their head, so Magic gives Ian the rest of the day off, and then Ian bumps into an ex girlfriend, and they have little discussions here and there. But because of Ian's very important job of being somebody who's sorry, one second, having a problem with my mic here. Being somebody who is in a very classified position, Ian's unable to tell their ex girlfriend what's exactly going on. But in some sort of compromise, Ian did tell the ex, listen, if I ended up doing something in my job that I believe might have caused an issue for the people I care for in the future, you think I'm capable of doing that? You think I'm capable of causing harm to the people I love? And Ian's ex girlfriend basically says no. You know, if you were compromised in any particular way or had to do something that was out of the ordinary, you would do it only because you care for that person. And this gave Ian reassurance that they wasn't going to turn evil or anything along those particular lines. So yeah, it was a nice moment for Ian, knowing that they were still going to remain the same, what they believe good person, and they weren't going to stray off the beaten track. So when Ian does eventually go back to Quantum Leap headquarters, all Ian wants to do now is focus on why Ian's going to leap in the future. Now, with all that present day storyline out of the way, let's talk about the main storyline, which is Ben Sung in the body of this Indian girl working in an Indian restaurant. Now, this family Ben is working alongside, and as part of their father of the family has already died. So the mother is basically trying to keep the ship strolling along, and is running everything on her own, taking on all the responsibilities, having staff members who are just not willing to work or falling asleep on the job because their themselves are so busy, and having another daughter who has ideas of her own that which she wants to implement, but the mother's not willing to do that. And because, as somebody who knows about Indian families, coming from one, I can basically say the stubbornness of Indian parents, thinking that they know better than their children in every department possible, not willing to necessarily even put faith and trust in their children. to maybe take over causes because they feel that nothing will work unless they do it themselves. I have to be honest with you. um, I sometimes feel like that when it comes to NerdTube. I share this channel with so many other people. Sometimes I micromanage myself amongst my colleagues because it's that Indian in me which does that. So yeah, it works both sides. Now, this restaurant will end up burning down in the next 24 hours, and because it burns down, the family falls apart and everything fucks up. And so, Ben's mission is to make sure the restaurant doesn't catch on fire. At the same time, the restaurant owes money to loan sharks, so Ben's um, mission as well is to resolve that. And then what if they can resolve that and not let the restaurant burn, Ben should leap. So there's a few things Ben has to do is to resolve the relationships within the families, make sure that mum doesn't take everything on board, take on the entire workload herself. It's it is a bit more challenging for Ben than he realizes, but Ben does have the luxury of working in an Indian restaurant, surrounded by so much food, and his character that he's in apparently likes to eat the merchandise, and Ben likes to eat the merchandise too. So there's not much difference between the two of them. I would be eating the merchandise as well. My God, surrounded by pakoras and all these Indian snacks, I'll be chomping away. So let me just quickly just go into my notes here because it's hard to remember everything. So one of the ways that Ben decides to get more people to come to the restaurant is to go online and make an offer for people. So Ben goes on these websites, makes offers for the restaurant, like 2 for 1 and stuff like that. And before you know it, you got 200, you got 300 people coming to the restaurant. At the same time, Ben's younger sister wants to implement her menu, implement her style, modernize the food. And I can tell you this as somebody who has many a friend who are not the same race as me, who's eaten Indian food. They don't want this shabby European Anglophile version of Indian food. They want the real fucking deal. Don't underestimate people who are different cultures, who are trying foods of different cultures, because when they try the authentic stuff, they fucking love it. Doesn't matter if it's spicy or not. If you can handle your spice, whatever part of the world you're from, then you're gonna handle curries no problem. And if you have the real deal curries, not a fucking watered down Anglophile version of it, you're gonna definitely fucking love Indian food for sure. It's the best food in the fucking world. So, uh, uh, Ben's mom doesn't believe that she's ready. Like maybe people are ready for proper Indian food, but Ben's sister does. So there is an argument between the two of them. They fall out, and then it's Ben's sister's running away. Now, eventually, with the workload being the way it is, and Ben's mom also having um, a moment where she passes out from working too much, Ben ends up having flashbacks of his real mum, thinking that my real mum had issues too. She collapsed and passed out, but she actually died. She had a brain aneurysm. But the person Ben's occupying, their mother, is just unconscious. But it does give Ben these flashbacks. So with Ben's leap body mum, so to speak, working too hard, they do come to the conclusion that they do need more people to work in the restaurant. So let's go and talk to their daughter's sister. And so they do that. They do a compromise with her and says, look, you can come back to the restaurant and you can make one of your own special dishes. So a compromise is there. But when they go back to the restaurant is on fire. This is the one thing that Ben did not need to happen, because if the restaurant burnt, he wasn't going to leap. So there's Ben now thinking to himself, I'm never going to leave this body. I'm stuck here for life. And it's kind of jarring thinking that, all the times that Ben has actually succeeded, that this is the moment he's failed. But he hasn't. He still feels he has one ace up his sleeve. Now, he does confront the Karen, who's the loan shark, blaming this person for burning the building down. And Karen herself not only will get money from the insurance company, but still wants the 30 grand that the Brashad family owes her because she's a Karen, for fuck's sake. But Ben decides to open up a pop-up restaurant in the park. and get all the people to come to the park, including an investor. Ben believes will hopefully invest in the food once into the family once they eat taste the food. So he opens up a pop-up restaurant. The Prashad family brings in all their additional family members because there are, earlier on in the episode, we do see family members who are not necessarily communicating well with each other because there's a level of one-upmanship, and you sometimes get that in Indian families. Sometimes, it's only about keeping up appearances and saying, "Oh, my daughter is a doctor. No, my daughter is a lawyer." Yes, we bought a nice brand new Mercedes. Oh, well, we got a Rolls Royce Bentley. Like it's always this one-upmanship, and so that's what um, Ben's mother believes is happening here with her family members. But eventually, they realize they need their family members to help them, and so they all come together. All the Prashad extended family members, they all come together to be cooks. And Prashad's sister ends up being the head chef because obviously Prashad's mum is injured, so she can't necessarily cook. And it's a success. The pop up restaurant's a massive success. Everyone's loving the food. People are really enjoying themselves, but the investor doesn't turn up. Ironically, the investor has had food poisoning elsewhere, of course, so he can't turn up. And without the investor, they're not going to, regardless of this being a success, they're not going to make any money. But when the rest of the family members overhear the plight of the Prashad family regarding owing $30,000 to some loan sharks, they all decide to chip in and help out Mama Prashad so that they can get out of this current predicament and invest in buying a new restaurant because they believe in the food. And when Addison is able to relay all of this information to to Ben regarding the food and regarding the restaurant and regarding the loans being paid off, it seems that everything's going to be a-okay at the end. But Ben has one more thing he needs to do. He needs to speak to the mother again. And there's a real lovely moment. And I have to admit, it got me to tears. I've lost my mom. I, I lost my mom like 10 years ago. And this kind of like harken back moments, if you could have something with your mom again, you would do it. And when Ben was speaking to his surrogate mum, the Leaper's body's mum, saying that, look, me, my sister, we're able to take care of things. You don't, you can live your life now. You don't have to live it for us anymore. You and Dad were supposed to go to Egypt together. Well, you can still go to Egypt with your cousins. See the pyramids. Enjoy yourself. You're at that stage of your life, your golden years. Be happy. And he then gave his mum a big hug, saying, "I love you so much, mum." And then he leapt. And God, it gets you right in the feels. As much as maybe people want to criticize this show at times, the heart is always there in Quantum Leap. This new series, the heart is there. Ben genuinely is like a proper hero, a proper good guy. He cares for the people that he's saving. He's not just trying to leap. He genuinely wants these people to be better off than they once were, and he gives sound advice whilst doing it. And it feels so fucking good. You know, great episode, great episode. And also, before he leaps as well, he's gotten over the fact about his mum dying. He'll never forget, and he understands, and that's something that will stay with him for the rest of his life. But regarding the sort of self guilt he was feeling when his mum died, he's gotten over that. He doesn't feel responsible for his mum dying, his real mum dying. So that was a nice touch as well to no longer have that be an issue for him. And when Ben finally leaps, where does he end up? Well, he ends up on a battleship. I don't know what year it is. Is it Pearl Harbor? I have no fucking idea. But he ends up on a battleship, and it seems that the battleship is in battle, is at war with somebody. I'm not sure if this is a simulation or a training program or anything along those lines. It could be like that sort of red herring. Who knows? But there's not much given away here. He's I remember the badge on his shirt. It said Rossi on it. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with Ben in this next episode. a total 180 from where he was being in an Indian restaurant. But yeah, this was a fantastic episode, an episode I personally can relate to because of the cultural similarities. I loved it. You know, even the little moments like when um when Ben's sister is talking to Ben's mum and how she's had a change of mind, and Ben's sister's like totally flabbergasted because she's never experienced her mum changing her mind before. Because trust me, Asian parents are fucking stubborn, and changing their minds are unheard of. But they done it in an organic way, which was really good, and I liked it. It almost made it plausible. Really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, great episode. And so for that reason alone, I'm going to give episode 13, season one, of course, of Quantum Leap, a big fat 10. It gets the 10 for me, a biased 10. Don't get me wrong, it's 100% biased, but it's an episode I can relate to in various ways. And it's about the best thing in the world, Indian food. And if you haven't had Indian food, shame on you. Go out there in this fucking world, Google a fucking decent restaurant. Google a decent Indian restaurant where the fucking clientele are mainly Indian people. Yeah, because if you do that, you'll fucking come across good quality Indian food. What we got to hear? What we got here? Welcome, Daniel Vance. Till Caitlin Bassett, and Addison attained the rank of Staff Sergeant in U.S. Army and saw action in Afghanistan. You're talking about Addison, you mean? He said Assassin. Assassin. I think you mean Addison. Okay. I mean, the ship did say 77. Is that the year 1977 he's in? Oh, okay. Okay, in real life. All right, fair enough. I'm not surprised. Lots of American citizens end up in the military at some point. Remember the guy from Full Metal Jacket, the drill sergeant? He's a real life drill sergeant. I forgot the name of the actor, but yeah. So he was able to do that performance flawlessly because it is who he is. But yeah, as I said earlier, I give this episode a 10 out of 10 simply because I can relate to it. And yeah, I was going on about Indian food. You must eat Indian food. Yeah, Ali Ermi, yeah. Yeah. The guy's a fucking legend. Rest in peace as well, by the way. But yeah, Indian food. Daniel Vance, have you eaten Indian food in your life? Do you like Indian food? I had those Miss Marvel vibes as well. I'll be honest with you too, but like I said, because culturally I'm able to I'm able to understand, appreciate it a bit more. I very much liked it. All these little words like the mum was saying because she's speaking, um, I think she's speaking Hindi at times, and she's using words like "chalo," and "chalo" means let's go, you know, and hey, beta, and beta means daughter. All of these sort of things. But yeah, how was the episode? Oh, as I was telling everyone, I loved it. I gave it 10. 10 sausages, baby. 10 fucking sausages. Yeah. Listen, people go on. People, sorry. Yeah, episode was great. People go on about spicy food going in and out of your anus and all of that sort of stuff. Like, I can't handle spicy food. See, Daniel Vance, you don't come across as somebody who won't handle spicy food. You are too knowledgeable to be somebody who can only eat bland food. I just can't fathom how you cannot eat spicy food. Everything about you feels like you have fucking curries for breakfast. Oh, it's medical related. Oh, fair enough. Damn it. Damn it. Damn you. Medical related. Damn you for denying Daniel Vance the opportunity to not have fucking spicy food. For fuck's sake. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good, mate. You know, I love it. I love Indian food. Being Indian myself, like, it's just the best. Okay, so we have Critico GS. I did feel the hardcore attitude of mum. Although I'm Puerto Rican and citizens, we do go through the same struggles as anyone else with adapting to the US. Yeah, I mean, as somebody who is of Indian origin but is British, it's the same thing here as well. Like, it's Western culture meeting Eastern culture. You know, the parents themselves are immigrants. They've come to from the East to the Western world, and then they bring up their children who are born into the Western world, and they themselves are of two cultures. In the home, they've always known one culture, but then when they leave their home, they are obviously experiencing another culture, and then it becomes the sort of tug of war of what's going to end up winning. So yeah, it's it can be a real issue at times. I myself, have told certain family members, if you didn't want your children to be westernized, then why the fuck did you go to a Western country in the first place? If you were concerned about your kids maybe dating outside their race, or not even being religious anymore, or hanging around with different people you don't fucking like necessarily, or whatever, then why the fuck did you go to a part of the world where that was more plausible to happen? So I've always said that, somebody myself who's quite westernized, even though I'm of Indian descent, I'm extremely westernized. You know, these are the things that parents have to put blame on themselves if they're wondering why their kids are so different to them and acting so, in my case, British, considering they are British because they fucking got a British passport and everything. And usually, at times, it's unfortunately people of my culture, like second generations like myself, we we tend to try to live two lifestyles. Like, we try to live the lifestyle of being Eastern at home and keeping up appearances of being the pure goody two shoes. But the reality is that once mum and dad are not keeping an eye on us, we try to maybe be a little bit different. So often, get girls of my race, they would and my culture, that is, they would pretend they're having sleepovers. Yeah, and they are possibly having sleepovers, but not at their girlfriend's place, more like their secret boyfriend place, if you know what I'm saying. Um, just puppies to bed, no problem. You gave it a big 10 as well. Thank you, Boone. I'm glad you gave it a big 10 because I fucking enjoyed it. I thought it was a fantastic episode. And Boone, remember we spoke about this 3 weeks ago now. Eat some goddamn Indian food, and I think it goes to you too, Critico, my friend. Como estás? Eat some fucking Indian food, okay? Eat it. You go out there. You find a restaurant that is full of Indian customers, because those are the good ones. Yeah. You go to a fucking Indian restaurant and make sure that the customers there are Indian as well, and you fucking eat some Indian food. Don't say this. How can you say this? You're fucking Puerto Rican. Don't say this, man. I can't believe it. No, 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 no. Look. You got Daniel Vance. Daniel Vance here earlier says, "I can't handle spice. I only need bland." Yeah, Cheeto. Trust me, I know Cheeto. I've known him for many years. He can't eat fucking spicy food to save his goddamn fucking life. I do mean it. To save his goddamn fucking life. He would rather fucking kick the bucket than fucking eat something with a kick in it. Um, yeah, and then there's you saying, I can't handle the spice. No, no, don't make it a fucking hat trick of fucking bland lovers. No, no. Oh my god. Daniel Vaughn says, I want to move to the UK and open up a restaurant that serves nothing but sausage. I will eat that, by the way. And by the way, I like biscuits and gravy. I love it. American food will go down a treat here. Us Brits, where we do like to, to dabble in various cuisines. So I'll give it a shot. And biscuits. And by the way, when you say biscuits, it's 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 like cookies. What you call biscuits in America, we call scones. I honestly haven't seen an Indian restaurant in Puerto Rico laugh out loud. Oh my god! Google, my friend, Google. There must be one, even if it's shit. Even if they're shit, you know what I mean? It'll be the Highlander of Puerto Rico, because there can only be one. But there must be. I refuse to believe there isn't a fucking Indian restaurant in Puerto Rico. Um, and Jim says, "Oh, hello." So yeah, I told you before. Oh my god! It's a quadrilogy. It's a quadrilogy. I have 4 people in my chat, and not one of you fuckers can eat spicy food. Seriously, seriously. I want to bleach my skin and call myself Dave right now. I do. I do. I want to do that. I want to have a white picket fence and fucking eat fucking boiled chicken, carrots and peas. Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Oh, God. What are you guys doing to me, man? What are you guys doing to me? Jesus Christ. Ugh. Sammy Sosa effect. Sammy Sosa, isn't he a baseball player? Is he a baseball player? I believe. Remember, I'm British, so he's like a guy who, like, him and the other guy, they were like hitting home runs at one point. Um, Cousin Cheetah says I could eat it. I just choose not to. What are you, Val Kilmer and Batman Forever? What's this? Yeah, what is this? What is this? You eat it, man. You eat it and you fucking learn to love it. You know what I mean? You fucking have some milk or some water and you fucking eat it, and you fucking eat it and eat it until you learn to fucking love it. Yeah, he turned white. He did. He did. Sammy Sosa turned white. We're talking like Michael Jackson, is it vitiligo? All that shit. Is that what he suffered from? I've seen people of my race suffer from that. It's fucked, man. You know, yeah. So, oh god. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, and mainly gentlemen at this moment in time. I know we don't get you Google it. I will Google it actually. Fuck it, let's Google it now. Let's Google it. Sammy Sosa, Sammy Samusa. What the fuck? What the fuck? Hold on, let's share this. Hold on, let's enlarge this for you guys. Oh my god, what is going on? Why did Sammy Sosa bleach his skin? It's a bleaching cream that I apply before going to bed and whitens my skin some. He said on Univision show. It's a cream that I have that I use to soften my skin, but has bleached me some. I'm not racist. I live my life happily. What happened was that I'd been using the cream for a long time, and that combined with the bright TV lights made my face look whiter than it really is. I don't think I look like Michael Jackson. During that interview, Sammy denied having vitiligo. US reports vitiligo is a skin condition which patches of skin loses their pigment. Michael Jackson, the late pop star, said vitiligo was the reason he bleached his skin. God, he looks like the fucking Joker, but if he was black. Sammy changed appearance in source of constant ridicule. Okay, 2013 Deadspin headline declaring him to be a terrifying vampire. Talking to Sports Illustrated in 2018 while at a luxury hotel of Burj Al Arab, Arab in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Sammy said he didn't care about the criticism. Look at what I am today, he said. This is my life. I don't take garbage from nobody. I think he means anybody. I do whatever I want. He also claimed that he doesn't pay attention to social media, saying, I never watch Facebook, Instagram, some of that BS shit. I don't have that for time for that. Okay, so why was he bleaching his skin? Look, his eyes are green, man. That's crazy. Yeah. Oh my god, look at him. There's a caricature there that I just can't figure out. There is. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's so bizarre. Look at these questions. Is Sammy Sosa still white? Yeah. I mean, he looks mixed race. Don't get me wrong. But when you see him here, he looks, he looks black, and then boom, now he looks like a mixed race guy. But why was he bleaching his skin in the first place? That's what I want to understand. Did he want to have a lighter complexion? I mean, he's too famous. I mean, like we're talking bleaching. Look, he's a big guy, Sammy Sosa. He's a very big, muscular man. You have to put it everywhere. All over, like in the crevices, in the crotch area and stuff. Bleach that. Bleach his fucking John Thomas. Oh my god, yeah, salmon whites, yeah. I don't know what's more pinker, him or that jacket Mark Henry wore when he gave his fake retirement speech before fucking over John Cena. He's African and Antilles like me. Yeah. I mean, I'm from Tanzania. Well, not me personally, but like lots of people from Asia were sent to East Africa when the British were colonizing the world, so to speak. And my forefathers on both my mum and my dad's side were people who were sent to East Africa, Tanzania, to be more precise. Yeah. So yeah, learn something new every day, guys. Yeah, Sammy Sosa. I don't know how my hell Quantum Leap stream ended up on being fucking Sammy Sosa, but I'll tell you this. Tomorrow we are reviewing The Mandalorian because this is the way we do it, baby. Yes, tomorrow is The Mandalorian. What the hell? Ennis Dickens? Drink the goo, Ant-Man, his old Native American ceremony, turd and shrooms. Yeah, well, like they like when like have you seen stuff like Avatar, for instance? I'm not sure if that's Disney or not, but I think it is. Like they were doing, like the original Na'vi were Native Americans, and the new Na'vi they come across in Ant-Man where the water they're more like Fijians and Tongans and Samoans. Like there's no. It's very difficult for like as far as Hollywood's concerned. Aliens tend to be people who are already similar to the people on Earth. Yeah, so that's how they do it. But yeah, tomorrow it won't be just me because I do this stream with other people. But like today's stream, I would usually do it with my mate Jim. Unfortunately, he wasn't available today, so I went solo. But tomorrow, there will be maybe 2 or 3 of us talking about Mandalorian season 3, episode 1, and that's tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we're talking Star Trek Picard season 3, episode 3. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of shit coming up, and I can't wait. Ennis Dickens, Crypto, GS, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. I haven't butchered it. please subscribe to the channel. We're always trying to grow our community. I'm not here on my own. There's usually more than us. We are a big group of people within NerdTube, and we are, as I always say, the great. Oh, thank you very much, mate. Mucho gracias, my friend. Very happy for that, amigo. Thank you very much. I'm just trying to remember all the words I can remember in Spanish. I used to date a Brazilian girl a long time ago, and still to this day, I still remember the Portuguese she taught me, and it was this: "Filha de puta, vai tomar no cu." I can't remember exactly what it means, but I do remember her teaching me this, and that was over like 25 years ago. I'm watching tonight the La Bray final. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. All right. So, yeah, as I said earlier, yeah, I will be back tomorrow with my cohorts. This being one of the motherfuckers here, cousin Cheeto, who's promoting our channel, which I'm very happy to know that he's doing so. Thank you very much, Cheeto. He'll be joining me as well as possibly a guy called Boss Man, who's Mancunian, and we'll be talking about Mandalorian. I'm really excited about this episode. I hope it's we get to see Mandalore and stuff like that. It's going to be really cool. Pedro Pascal now twice a week now being father of the week. Once with Ellie on The Last of Us, and now with Grogu as playing Din Djarin as Mando. It's amazing. And by the way, we do Last of Us reviews as well on this channel. Whole bunch of stuff. I actually just finished a review. I recorded a couple of hours ago on 1923, which is not The Last of Us, which is the Yellowstone prequel starring Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren. It's really fucking good. If you do watch Yellowstone, I highly recommend that you watch 1923. And when I get a chance, I'm going to watch 1883, which is the other prequel show regarding Yellowstone. Yellowstone's the fucking bollocks. Taylor Sheridan, who makes all these shows on Paramount, who does a lot of writing for these shows, like Yellowstone, like 1923, like 1883, like The Tulsa King. The guy's the hottest property in the world right now. You know what I mean? So no problem. It's okay, Jim. Don't worry about it, dude. Don't worry about it. And Jim, at one point, I'm going to let you fill in for me when we do a Picard review. So don't worry about it. So yeah. All right. So okay, guys. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Tube. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. All right. Adios, amigos. Bye bye.